everyone. Welcome to our fourth stage talk on day 2 of the Hyderabad Literary Festival. Known as one of the greatest Sufi works in history, Shah Abdul Latif's Shah Jo Risalo is a prayer for a cry for the beloved. The 16th century poet Shah Abdul Latif lived in Mithai and wrote Sindhi poems. As Sufi poems are known, Shah Abdul Latif's poems are mystical and steeped in human search for the self. The first ever translation of the Risalo from Sindhi to English. And this is by our speaker, Anju Makhija, and in collaboration with Mr. Hari Dilgir, winner of the Sahitya Academy Prize for Translation in 2011. It is important to note that this is the first such translation in India. Joining Anju Makhija is Dr. Omkar Bhatkar, who will be presenting an immersive poetic performance. Dr. Omkar Bhatkar works largely on poetry in motion, essentialist themes and contemporary French plays in translation. He has written and directed more than 20 plays. Omkar has been teaching and is involved in theatre making, poetry and cinema, and making independent feature films and documentaries. He is the artistic director of Metamorphosis, theatre and films, and was curator at the St. Andrew Center for Philosophy and Performing Arts for 6 long years. Anju Makhija, as some of you may know, is a poet, playwright, co-editor and translator. She is the author of several books including Seeking the Beloved, a translation of the 16th century Sufi poet Shah Abdul Latif, The Last Train and other plays. View from the Web and Pickling Season, it's a set of poems to mention a few. Anju has won several awards including the Sahitya Academy English Translation Prize also in 2011 and the BBC World Poetry Prize in 2002. Her latest book is a collection of plays capturing the essence of Mumbai titled as Mumbai Traps. Please welcome Dr. Omkar Bhatkar and Anju Makhija.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. I guess you people have had a nice full lunch. I am not in the mood for any long talks. It is an odd time, 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock, and you had sessions yesterday also at 2. So I think, let me ask, any of you all here are familiar with Sufi poetry? Can you get some lights or something? Yeah. Just for 2 minutes. Any of you all are familiar with Sufi poetry or? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, you all do know that. And any Sindhis here? Because Shah Abdul Latif, there are 1 or 2. Because Shah Abdul Latif, as she has already told you, and I won't take more than a few minutes of your time, he has been called the Shakespeare of Sindh. Now Sindh, as many of us know, it was one before partition. After partition, the Sindhis, many Hindus came here, Hindu Sindhis, and the Muslim Sindhis stayed there. At that time, of course, they were all together in one country. So, Shah Abdul Latif being such an important, when I say Shakespeare of Sindh, you can see what importance he has. And definitely, whether in Pakistan, whether in India, whether in Germany, Britain, all over, he's known all over, the way perhaps Rumi is, or Omar Khayyam, and any of the other Sufi poets. She has already said that the Sufis were great integrators. If I may just say one word about that, they took from both Vedantic and Islamic traditions. So they did not follow either of them, they had their own Sufism, but they took from both of them So they were often called the great integrators. And that is one thing we must remember. I was asked to, since it's a stage talk, we must talk about the book. The book that this performance, multimedia performance, is based on this very book which she mentioned. It's called Seeking the Beloved, the poetry of Shah Abdul Latif. It was published over a decade ago, but still there's a lot of interest in it. These kind of books go on to become classics, I guess, and are what the world over. And a poet of this stature, it's not a matter of one book, there will be, and there are so many translations. It's a matter of how you compare, because each translation is contemporary. The ones that have been done in the past have their own flavor, they appeal to that audience and time, and I think the translations that are being done today might have their own flavor, and that's the beauty of translation. Not only does it get a new life, you almost feel that you're reading something new. Of course you won't tamper with the original, but it is in the idiom of the way people are today, the way they might think, express, speak. So that we must be aware of when we compare translations. This is not a lecture on translations. I just want to tell you that Omkar took the many verses in this book. There are quite a few, it's a fairly thick book. And he made them his own. He chose what he wanted. The original performance, which was in Mumbai, at the NCP and other places, was for an hour. But because we were asked to reduce it to about 30 minutes, it's, I guess, another kind of performance here. Nevertheless, it uses the same multimedia elements of this animation film, and as you will see, so Omkar has to be given credit with all that. And our time is short because I was told to talk for 5 minutes, and I think I may have exceeded that. So we will go ahead with the performance, and if you have any questions, we will talk about it later. Fair enough? Thank you.
Lived a spiritual life from his childhood. Contemplative by nature, he shunned worldly comforts and remained more or less in isolation. It is even said that when he was taught the alphabet at the age of 6, he refused to go beyond the Aleph, which stands for Allah. Latif followed his father, Sayyid Shah Habib's advice and rose to be a learned man of his times. He had mastery over his mother tongue, Sindhi, and he also knew Arabic, Persian, and Hindi, along with other languages. The reservoir shows that he had studied the Quran and Vedantic traditions and internalized them through personal observation and experiences. Quran in Arabic, Rumi's Matnavi in Persian, and Shah Abdul Karim's Baits in Sindhi were Latif's constant companions. He visited the ailing daughter of Mirza Mughal Beg, who was a descendant of Genghis Khan. Latif was struck by the young woman's beauty. He was in love with her the moment he saw her. But it wasn't that easy. Mirza Mughal Beg did not approve of the young poet's words. And that's how both of them were separated. The separation of Shah Abdul Latif with Mirza Mughal Beg's daughter made him restless. And one day he left home without informing his parents and joined a group of yogis and sannyasis and traveled with them for 3 years. He traveled through Sindh, Gujarat, and Rajasthan. He kept on traveling. He kept on being with this group of yogis and even the Nathpanthis. This exposure widened his outlook and understanding of Hinduism. He was mesmerized by these traditions, by these scriptures. And this exposure provided him with a deeper insight. The insight he gained helped him to create poetry inspired by the immortal characters of Sasui, Marui, Sohini, and other folk heroines. What Sasui experiences while plodding through the hot sands of Lattar was part of Latif's own journey. When Shah Latif was 23, something strange happened. Mirza Mughal Beg lost his life in armed encounters with robbers, and the family offered Mirza's daughter's hands to Latif, and thus he won her in the end. Latif's life thereafter was simple and was mainly spent in contemplation and poetry. People would come from distant places to listen to Shah Abdul Latif. Latif built an entire village with his disciples on a sand hill in Batai, where he spent the rest of his days with his family. Shah Abdul Latif's poetry is material, but adapted to song. During the days of Shah Latif, the tambura had 4 strings. But Latif introduced one more string adjacent to the zuban, or the outer string, tuned as sa, or shadaj, or the tar saptak, 7 tones, in a conventional style. Shah Latif sang his Veds in Sindhi in an age when Arabic was the language of the Quran and Persian the court language. Poems of Shah Abdul Latif Batai are collected in the Shah Risalo, literally Shah's message. Shah Risalo is arranged into 30 distinct suras or chapters, consisting of 4 short verses known as Veds, sung before the longer poems. songs known as wise. Many of these surahs are based on dastans or famous love legends of the Sindh Punjab region, such as Sasui Punu, Soini Meher, and Umar Marui. You bestow maladies and remedies. You alone can provide the medicine. The physician proposes and the beloved disposes. He stabs me with his knife. This wound I suffer silently. If I shout, the world will hear. How can I tell them? How can I tell them that my friend has stabbed me? Your arrows, laden with love, render cures worthless, physicians helpless, bodies ache, bodies bleed. Silently dressing their wounds, let us spend the night with these souls, my friend. How can the healthy know the torment of the wounded? How can the healthy know the torment of the wounded? Unrelenting bodies lament night after night. To impress the world, some shed tears. Mother, true lovers, neither weep nor speak a single word. If you want to meet the loved one, take a lesson from thieves. Alert through the silent night, stealthily they move, neither uttering a sound nor fearing death. See those moths, lovers of light, annihilate themselves. If you want to be like a moth, come, burn the fire itself, the fire that devours many. Moth-like, you perish in the flame. You remain ignorant. You cannot endure the blaze, my friend. His deadly eyes seek heads for a mere sip of a wine. Sit with the assassin. Sit with the assassin. Watch him convert venom into nectar. Drink a few cups with him. Winter beacons, cup-bearers offer a spread. Winter beacons, cup-bearers offer a spread. Others come to offer their heads. Moki, jugs, bottles, goblets. Moki, jugs, bottles, goblets, fill your distillery. Despair not, seekers are on their way. Connoisseurs enjoy varied wines. Connoisseurs enjoy varied wines. Willingly they offer their heads for a taste of the divine. Rai the Arch-King of Junagadh was a great connoisseur of music and fame. And Rai the Arch had a dispute. Following the dispute, King Anirai attacked Rai the Arch's kingdom but could not lay siege. Lives were lost, battle was fought, with no end to it. It kept on going on. And therefore Rai the Arch continued living his life. But King Anirai announced that anyone who could bring the Arch's head would be awarded a casket of gold, precious pearls and diamonds. And that's how Bijal, a wandering minstrel, knew of Rai the Arch's love for music. He accepted the Anirai's offer, and with his musical instruments, he reached Rai the Arch's palace. Bijal's music was very melodious. Rai the Arch was so enthralled that he called Bijal up to his palace and promised to give him whatever he desired. But what did Bijal say? Bijal demanded his head. The king was shocked and pleaded that he asked for something else. People were shocked too. No one knew what to say. But Bijal did not relent, and the king, keeping his word, cut off his own head. With the head, Bijal took that head and went to King Anirai. When King Anirai met Bijal, and he saw Bijal with that head of Rai the Arch, he was astonished. He regretted his decision and he condemned the inhuman act. Bijal was lost with that head which became his burden, that head which haunted him in his thoughts, that head which asked him what he had done. And therefore Bijal returned to Girnar, where a pyre was ready for Rai the Arch. On that pyre was laid the body of Rai the Arch without the head. And into that jumped the Queen Surat. Seeing this, Bijal too felt remorse and threw himself into the blaze. Queen Surat lit, set ablaze, burning. 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 May my music please the monarch, Surat's groom, monarch of great name and fame. Honor this simpleton who knows not how to beg. Charitable one, why wait till dawn? Charitable one, why wait till dawn? Fulfill my desire, here and now. Monarch, I can tolerate neither heat nor cold, but for you, I play this lyre. Listen, this bard will be honored. Listen, this bard will be honored with a mere spray of your saliva. With humility, Bijal played. With humility, Bijal played. The music filled the palace. At the right moment, the king shared his secret. At the right moment, the king shared his secret. None could understand how two became one. None could understand how two became one. Not many could understand. But at last, a few unraveled the enigma. I am man's secret. He is mine. The king and the minstrel, the king and the minstrel were united. I come with a begging bowl, though I have never begged. I come with a begging bowl, though I have never begged. I have many horses in my stable. I cannot sing for a pretense. I don't care for a few elephants. I have come for your precious head. I have come for your precious head. Day and night he demands head. Day and night he demands head, sparing neither royalty nor pauper. They bow, he exclamates, it pleases him immensely. Beggar, collector of heads, beggar, collector of heads, may you never return. Enough crowns have crumbled. Enough crowns have crumbled in the dust. Early morning Bijal played. Early morning Bijal played. The king rejoiced hearing him. Come up, minstrel, I'll throw treasures at your feet. Come up, minstrel, I'll throw treasures at your feet. My head is but a guest in your hands. Now, let it rest. The bard entered the palace, ready to take the head. The bard entered the palace, ready to take the head. Junagadh would soon be in a jeopardy. All would mourn to his death. Jajik, I pledge obeisance 10 times. Jajik, I pledge obeisance 10 times. What you demand has little value. If you want, I'll cut it 20 times. If you want, I'll cut it 20 times, says Rai Bianch. But you have asked for nothing. But you have asked for nothing. Had you desired what I could not give, it would have been a great insult for a philanthropist like me.
من مست الست فقیرم 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 मैं शाह लतीफ की वाई मैं हैदर का शेदाई तेरी इतनी सी पहचान मन मस्त अलस्त फकीरम मन मस्त अलस्त फकीरम मन मस्त अलस्त
Can we have the lights on, please?
What you performed here, I would like to know more about the dance form that you performed. Keep the questions short because of these.
No dance form. This is something for those who don't know. I'm not trained in any form of theatre or dance. So whatever I do, it's what comes to me very naturally. But I do feel like I find poetry easy to, not easy, interesting to bring it into body. So and to emotions. So what you see is something that happens. Every show will be different. Every time it's different. Every time it's different. This was done 1.5 years ago, and I WhatsApped her last night. Like I'm reading the poems again and again every time. She's like, it's in you. You don't need to read it, but. Again, I feel I've forgotten everything. So, with I think a lot of mystical poetry, you may have read it 10 times, you forget it. Every time it's new. So, it's something that is not a form, but something that I keep doing.
Quickly, your question about the form. This is sort of referred to generally as whirling, Sufi's whirl. Because when you whirl fast, according to what I've read, I've not experienced, you come to your center. There is a center in all of us, which in different religions, different ways, it's the way we connect through meditation or what. So when Omkar, I think, goes round, he himself connects to a center, something beyond himself. And that, how did you come to know, even after seeing it so many times, it brought tears to my eyes?
I only feel it's a privilege to anytime do mystical poetry in your life. Your body becomes an instrument to these ancient words. That I think is one can just be happy about.
I think we noticed the centering right from the start when he was holding the candle. It was like absolute focus and half closed eyes, and you really did a fabulous, given fabulous performance.
Absolutely no question. I thought he was a Rishi actually when he came because I had seen the performance.
I see. Anyone else would like to ask a question? All right.
You can change many things. So do come for his future performance.
That's the true nature of a Sufi, right?
Yeah, very adaptive, very creative. And I think the whole thing was about losing your head. Did any of you or all of you all understand that?
Yes.
You all did. For those who did, in Sufi terminology, it means sacrificing your ego. Like he says, I place my head, and they all three become one in the fire. Means, the one who's the seeker, the beloved, the process, and many of these stories end in this. Everything becomes one, and this connects to our Advaita philosophy. Everything is one. It seems different, but in so dramatically presented, it just became one.
It's about losing the head, losing the ego, losing any sense of identity, reaching a point where you do not have an identity. So, right, that's the whole story of Diyaj when he submits the head. I could chop my head into 10, 20 pieces. This is nothing you've asked for. I think it's that, and possibly all of us human beings have to come to a state, I think, where I do not know I am Omkar anymore. I'm just anyone else, and I think that's what largely mystical poetry is about, where we lose identity, where Anju and Omkar is one. All of us are one, and that oneness is, I think, central to us. So becoming more human, which we are not. At least I don't think we are. So, yeah.
Thank you, Omkar. Thank you, Anju. This was really a very nice performance. and it, beautifully presented with the poem, with the visuals, and with you performing with such precision and control. You were just fabulous.
Thank you. I'll just take one moment. Viraj, please come.
Yes, Viraj did an
Viraj
excellent
has done
job,
the animation and editing.
and the lighting.
And I think we five of us, the animation that you saw was made from cutting at least 4,000 figures.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it is at least 4,000 figures that we cut in different ways.
Yeah, animation is a very, very long drawn process. Before we disperse, can we have all of you coming for a group photo? And also would like to tell you that the next performance is by the Rela collectives.